Somebody should be kind enough to say, let us visit him.
Well, he had friends, and he had more than you think, probably, and admirers, and he participated in poetry
He had
events.
disciples, probably.
He's not totally isolated.
But he is at times, he is.
Well, okay. Saigyo is a 12th century poet, sort of hermit in the woods, and it's a long story, but he's influenced Basho. Here we have more winter poems. Mount Arachi, so steep, no ravine to descend by, but the white snow offers us a snowshoe trail. Mount Arachi, so steep, no ravine to descend by, but the white snow offers us a snowshoe trail. Here he's saying, in this mountain, basically, in the summer you might have a trail to walk down, but if everything's covered with snow, you just walk down the snow with snowshoes, probably. So there is a trail, way to walk down. It says this poem is found only in certain versions of the Hokashi text. See San Kashu. Mount Arachi is in present-day Fukiya Prefecture. So we're continuing with a couple poems from winter. A garden that recalls the past, but in it I stack driftwood for fuel. Hardly the kind of year-end I used to know. But is he missing something? A garden that recalls the past, but in it I stack driftwood for fuel. Hardly the kind of year-end I used to know. He's missing something here. He says, some commentators see in the word driftwood an allusion to the Buddhist parable found in the Lotus Sutra or elsewhere that likens the difficulty of attaining enlightenment to that of a blind turtle encountering a piece of driftwood to which it can cling. Stacking driftwood here stands for religious endeavor. I'll read that again. A garden that recalls the past, but in it I stack driftwood for fuel. Hardly the kind of year-end I used to know. Shinku Kasi Kasha. This is from the poetic collection. And we saw this something with this driftwood thing. Anyways, we can now read Love. Saigyo on love. That should be interesting. What you know of love? Hanging out in the mountains. You think he knows anything?
He's out there because he loves.
He did love, or he loves. Okay, let's see what he knows. Moon at break of day. What memories it wakes of times when I lingered, like the banked clouds that trail away in the dawn sky. The moon recalls to the speaker times when the lovers parted at dawn. Moon at break of day, what memories it wakes of times when I lingered like the banked clouds that trail away in the dawn sky. He lingered. I think he was lingering with his lover.
Parting clouds, so he was parting with her.
He parted and the moon was at break of day you parted. Love. You can believe in that. Okay, he never came. The wind too tells how the night has worn away, while mournfully the cries of wild geese approach and pass on. He never came. The wind too tells how the night has worn away, how mournfully the cries of wild geese approach and pass on. No promises, yet I wait, thinking perhaps you'll come. If only the night wouldn't dwindle away, but be over all at once.
Yeah, this we read there on the beautiful. You can
He's
wait through the night is too longer. What he's waiting for her.
no promises, yet I wait, thinking perhaps you'll come. If only the night wouldn't dwindle away, but be over all at once.
He wants it to be all over. Waiting.
It's hard to wait and you have to wait all night.
The previous one? Read the previous one?
Previous one. He never came. The wind too tells how the night has worn away, while mournfully the cries of wild geese approach and pass on. And this one again? No promises, yet I wait, thinking perhaps you'll come. If only the night wouldn't dwindle away, but be over all at once.
He's waiting already.
Yeah. We're reading Love from Saigyo. Why should I resent a person's growing cold? Time was when he didn't know me and I didn't know him either. We've encountered this poem with a different translation. If you remember, we said if you don't know yourself, how could you know anybody else, or how could they know you? Or how could you?
Read it again.
Why should I resent a person's growing cold? Time was when he didn't know me, and I didn't know him either. But people, they don't know themselves and you don't know yourself, then remember that, how I don't know. So why, if love goes away, what's that? Is that just that you don't know? The person's growing cold. Anyways, that we saw that.
Person he did not know.
We saw that poem in another translation, SKKS, Senko Kinsu 14/12/97. It's very subjected to translation. Remember what was the document where we had three or four translations? Remember we read that? That was interesting, and we said we had preferred the first translator. Where we were skipping translators. It's hard to translate. Cuckoo at the time of parting. In Chinese and Japanese poetry, the cuckoo is the bird of memory. Why don't they just say it's the Hototo Gisu? It's a thing. Bird of memory. Okay, at the best of times, hard to break away. And now with the flush of dawn, cuckoo makes it worse by singing out. Best of times, hard to break away. And now with the flush of dawn, cuckoo makes it worse by singing out. He's saying it's hard enough to break off and separate. And then when you have the birds singing also. Do you think that's true? It's worse with the birds singing.
You read the poem again?
At best of times, hard to break away. And now, with the flush of dawn, cuckoo, which is the Hototokisu, makes it worse by singing out.
Read it again?
Why don't I just have the birds sing? Hototokisu.
Okay, just read the poem.
At best of times, hard to break away. And now with the flush of dawn, cuckoo makes it worse by singing out.
Okay, so it's hard to break what?
Break away from each other. This is about love.
Okay, so now,
Goodness.
Now that it sings, it makes it worse, certainly. It likes to stay and listen.
Well, breaking up is harder with a song going on, so why not with a bird song?
Then he doesn't go away when the singing is beautiful.
It doesn't mention the impact of the Hototo Gisu. It's a famous symbol. Love likened to lemongrass. Remember we tasted the lemongrass at the store? Was it lemongrass or they said it was sorrel?
Yeah.
I like sorrel. We used to get sorrel from the Japanese farmer. We'll be sorry if we don't have sorrel.
How do you spell it?
The sorrel? That's what it is, sorrel. It's just a green.
How do you spell it?
I don't know, S-O-R-R-E-L. That's what we bought.
I
Right?
think it's sorrel.
Sorrel. I don't know. It's a French word. I don't know what it is.
It's sorrel, should be.
Seems we don't seem to know anything. We have to have like Alexa and Siri and everybody like giving us definitions constantly. Seems the older we get, the less we know. We're going to have a dictionary wired to our head. Here we go. Does this love of mine face one way only, never perversely straying? Rather, it is the lemongrass in the meadow tossed in ever-shifting winds. Love is likened to lemongrass.
I think he only thinks one way only, if he is the one who loves only.
Does this love of mine face one way only, never perversely straying? Rather, it is the lemongrass in the meadow, tossed in ever-shifting winds. Who's is shifting?
As the wind, from wherever the wind blows, it goes the other direction. So the wind changes direction, and so
Of course it
so
shifts.
the fragrance of the lemon, how he calls that plant, the fragrance goes to different directions. So his love.
With the wind blowing.
Yeah, so his love is like that, that blows to different directions. It's not one way only.
Yeah. All right, I believe that. We're reading from Saigyo's Poems of a Mountain Home. 12th century